Hi, shalom, Sister Sonia. Shalom, Madam Melter. How are you? Hope you're both doing very well. Hi. Oh, thank you for the likes. So I'm just gonna be on for a few minutes tonight. Aw, hey, beautiful. Shalom, Coleman. How are you? Just talking about feminine issues and what causes them and some of the things we can do to get rid of them. Talking about endometriosis, and it sounds like the most awful thing ever. Oh, hi. Hi, my Elisha Judah. Hi, King. How are you? Oh, great. Sonia, I'm glad you were enjoying it. Shalom, Minister Tamara. Thank you for being on. Oh, let me see something. Oh, I don't know. So yeah, we were just talking about endometriosis. It just sounds like the most awful, painful thing, and kind of understanding what it is. So every month, we have a cycle as long as we're regular. Some women have irregular cycles, and so they can be bleeding all month long, and it could be due to, well, it's obviously due to a hormonal issue, and due to some type of issue going on. But women who have endometriosis have it that much worse. It is extremely painful because the lining of the uterus, instead of just coming out during the menstrual cycle, the monthly menstrual cycle, it deposits itself. So the endometrial tissue, the tissue that's supposed to be sloughed off during the menstrual cycle, actually gets embedded on other organs like the bladder or the anus, between the uterus and the anus, and even other tissues within the body. And the awful thing about it is that it's not a one-time thing where that tissue that's supposed to be bled out, instead of the tissue coming out, it's lodged on, the endometrial tissue is lodged on other organs, and every single month it causes bleeding wherever it is. So the endometrial tissue is supposed to cause bleeding, but instead of it, just coming out, it's bleeding. It's like causing internal bleeding. And yeah, I was reading about it, and I was like, this sounds like the most awful thing ever, because I wanted to understand it more in depth. And so somebody who has endometriosis experiences extreme pain whenever it's time for their menstrual cycle, because that bleeding, that internal bleeding that's happening in places where it's not supposed to, causes inflammation, causes after a while it causes adhesions where the organs start to stick together, start to stick to the uterus. So your uterus is supposed to move freely. It's supposed to be able to shift, and actually, in fact, it's the movement, the rocking movement of the uterus that causes orgasms for women. So someone who has endometriosis is gonna have not only painful sex, but not even going to enjoy sex when they have it. And the treatment, so surgery is one of the, like laparoscopic surgery, where they go in with a laser, put a keyhole, they cut a small hole, and go in with a little camera and look to see what's going on. And they can cut out the endometrial tissue, but the surgery itself can cause adhesions, which is the whole sticking together of the organs. So it's like they don't have many options for treatment for endometriosis in the traditional medical sense when you go to your doctor. But that surgery itself causes another issue. And then they were saying another option for treatment is hormone therapy, like like a birth control pill, or what's Depo-Provera, but Depo-Provera, apparently they're having a huge class action lawsuit right now. So that's not. Yeah, I feel for anybody who has it. But Depo-Provera is that birth control injection, the shot that's caused a lot of women to go sterile or have other issues like cancer, and menopausal type symptoms. And then there's a thing called a medically induced menopause, which sounds just absolutely awful. And it leads me to believe that menopause is not natural if it can be induced by injecting hormones and different chemicals into someone. Then it can be reversed by correcting the situation, correcting the hormones that cause the menopause in the first place. But back to endometriosis, they're saying, women who are experiencing menopause, usually the symptoms of endometriosis go away too, because, with the lack of a menstrual cycle, that endometrial tissue that's lodged in the wrong places on the organs stops bleeding every month, so that might stop some of the inflammation, some of the monthly pain. But then that comes with menopausal symptoms, the hot flashes, the lost hair, the insomnia, the different issues that come along with that. And it seems like the traditional allopathic Western medicine type approach only makes the situation worse, because they said even if they induce the menopause, even if they induce the chemical menopause, even if they do the surgery to get rid of the endometrial tissue, and then hysterectomy, total hysterectomy, where they take out the uterus and what do they call it? Where they take out the fallopian tubes as well, and the ovaries. They say that doesn't necessarily prevent the symptoms of endometriosis. So it sounds like modern medicine doesn't have an answer for it. However, these types of situations can be cured naturally. They can be healed naturally, and they come from the same types of imbalances that cause fibroids and other issues. And fibroids can also lead to endometriosis as well. But these feminine issues are caused by faulty relationships with men, either our fathers or boyfriend, spouse. Whenever we feel rejected or wronged, or feel as though we're not worthy, we want to punish ourselves, and women punish themselves in their womb. We as women use our womb as a spiritual hiding place, basically, for our emotions. So those emotions develop into health issues, but they're from blows to the feminine ego. When we are hurt, when we feel rejected, when we feel as though we don't measure up. Oh, shalom, Mbungu, how are you? Are you, I believe you're a female, or excuse me, a woman, a queen, right? So I'll say shalom, queen, and if that's incorrect, please let me know. But as women tend to punish themselves by holding negative emotions in their womb, which leads to conditions like endometriosis, fibroids, yeast, anything that prevents us from being hurt again through sexual relationships or through what makes us a woman. That's where we Okay. Noir said, wow, I never even thought of it that way. Well, that's, basically what happens to us is we store our trauma in our wombs. So when we have negative relationships with our fathers, negative relationships with men, also if we were ever abused or mistreated or told we weren't attractive, also ancestral trauma is stored there. We, like, as women, we tend to store that stuff in our survival center. Like our wombs and our sexual organs are considered to be an energy center, and it's considered our survival center within our body. And in order to survive, we try to trap those emotions in a place where we can hold on to them without them basically ending us. Where do men store trauma? So it depends on the trauma, but when they have like the rejection, or if they feel shut down as men or emasculated, they store their trauma in their prostate. So it's the same type of situation, but men have prostates and women have uteruses and wombs, all of that. Whereas men, they have a prostate. That's something that's very only men have a prostate, and only females obviously have a uterus or a womb. And when a man feels shut down, when he feels like he's not listened to, that he's not respected, he basically becomes emasculated. He starts to give up. Men kind of take rejection in a different way, to where it basically, they feel like less of a man, and the prostate begins to accumulate those negative emotions, that those hormones that are associated with, like, cortisol and all the other hormonal imbalances that start to happen when someone's stressed or has some type of trauma, abused in terms of not feeling worthy as a man or a woman. They start storing those things in their survival centers or their sexual organs. So for a man, it's the prostate, and for the woman, it is her uterus and her womb, basically, her ovaries, fallopian tubes, and uterus. So when and trauma and stress lead to an accumulation of hormones that can't be handled by the liver. The liver gets overstressed and is not able to filter out those hormones, and those hormones cause a rise in acidity in the body, and that acidity has to be dealt with. So it creates a whole nother hormonal imbalance. It creates this whole negative feedback, or positive feedback cycle. Positive meaning it makes it keep going. And I know it's a weird term. It's a scientific term. A positive feedback loop is basically where something happens that caused something else to happen, that caused something else to happen. Basically compounding. Even though it's a negative, it's a bad thing that's happening, because it keeps building on itself. They call it a positive feedback loop in science. And when someone is stressed, and when someone feels unworthy, when someone who has had trauma, either their own trauma or ancestral trauma. So basically, as Black people, we're kind of set up to have more health issues due to the trauma, due to things that have happened to us and to our ancestors, and that continue to happen to this day, that have not been acknowledged. The healing hasn't really started. So that's one of the reasons why Black men have a way higher rate of prostate issues. About 70% of Black men have, or are expected to experience prostate issues, and 80% of Black women within their childbearing years have fibroids. And prostate issues are also caused by a poor diet, a diet full of synthetic things, synthetic items being put on us, chemicals. Like a black woman, if you had a relaxer in your life, you're pretty much guaranteed to have fibroids, some type of uterine disorder, because those chemicals, they have to go somewhere, and it's just too much on the body to try to get it out. The liver cannot filter that out in a most efficient way, so it has to be taken care of some way, and your body will store those chemicals in your fat. So fat stores poisons to try to keep you alive, and that's why we see a lot more obesity within the black community, because the poisons that are in the food, the poisons that are in hair products, nail glue, the things that we typically have in our neighborhood that aren't as prevalent in other people's neighborhood. I heard Dave Chappelle joke about how he didn't know that there was a difference between drink and juice. Like fruit juice, is like an all-natural type of thing that comes from fruit. Like grape juice actually comes from grapes. But he thought grape soda was actually grape juice, because why? He lived in a food desert. As a black person, a lot of times, Kool-Aid and, which is all like synthetic colors and things like that, like, basically chemicals. That's kind of stuff, that we kind of grew up on. I know I drank plenty of Kool-Aid. I know that the corner store in my neighborhood growing up had a lot of just like trash, chips, fake sodas, not even like the name brand sodas, like the Shasta and different things like that. All that stuff, the high fructose corn syrup and things like that, lead to the issues like endometriosis, fibroid, leukorrhea, where it's like a foul smell, and all of those things, all of those uterine disorders, all of the like prostate disorders that men experience, the testicular in their groin area, testicular region, those come from those chemicals. So everything, all diseases start in the spirit, but where you are mentally kind of dictates where you're going to be physically as well. So if you're stressed, you've experienced traumatic events, then it's going to be a lot harder for you to choose better situations that prevent you from being stressed or traumatized in the future. If someone has never had any money, has never had anything, it's a lot easier for them to not make it out. Oh, thank you for the roses, T's 2 cents. It's a lot easier for them to keep making bad decisions. It's a lot easier for them to keep experiencing trauma, because they're in a situation, in a neighborhood, in an environment that promotes them making those bad choices. And then, oh my goodness, thank you, T's 2 cents. That's a lot of roses. Keep making those bad decisions, which keep fueling the stress hormones, keeps fueling making bad, poor decisions for eating. And if someone doesn't have money, they have a lot less choices for eating healthy. If they don't have the education on how to get free, fresh produce or growing their own, or if they don't know how to go out and basically forage for fresh herbs and vegetables and things like that, if they don't have access to fresh fruit, vegetables, clean food, like even bread has artificial sweeteners in it. You would think, why do you need artificial sweeteners? Why do you need high fructose corn syrup in bread? But when you go to like the black neighborhoods, check the ingredients in the food, and you're gonna find that there's a difference. Like tonight I went to Aldi, but I insist on going to Aldi in a white neighborhood. Why is that? One, because the food prices are cheaper. And then two, because there's a better selection, and they have options that don't have the artificial flavors and sweeteners and things like that you'll find in black neighborhoods. it you know, I wish I was making it up. I wish it wasn't the case, but that's the reality, that people in our community are surrounded by things that basically are leading to disease. Let me see what I'm saying. So, yes, big city black neighborhood doesn't have fresh food. 9 out of 10. Yeah, and the sad part is that in these neighborhoods that are typically a majority black, they're usually poorer neighborhoods or the projects, and the food actually costs way more there. Like, for instance, if I go to Aldi in the black neighborhood, the eggs are $2. If I go to Aldi in the white neighborhood, they're 89 cents. Like, make it make sense, because, the white neighborhood is actually more expensive to live there. It's more expensive to rent space there. So you would think that the food would be more expensive in that neighborhood, but that's not the case. Let's see. But somebody said, you don't learn about it until we are hooked. Regarding food, some women lashes, nails, etc. chemicals. Yeah, and we don't. And I had started wearing press-on nails, and they were cute. They were really cute, but I'd started having hives, and I was like, I don't have sensitive skin. I'm not a sensitive person. Like, most stuff doesn't bother me, but I was having like these red like raised bumps, or they weren't bumps, they were like raised, like, you look up a picture of hives, they were just really weird. And I was putting the glue on my nails and putting the press-ons on, and I started having hives, and I didn't realize that was what it was. I was trying to figure out, why am I having hives? I've never had hives in my life. And I stopped using the nails for about a month and a half, and then I tried to use them again recently, and I started having the hives again, not as severe as before, but it started happening again. So I was like, oh, it was the nails and nail glue, all of which are very harsh chemicals that if you're going to wear fake nails, you're going to have to use some type of glue to put it on. Let's see. And that, causes issues. And you're right. So yeah, they got us hooked on it. They tell us, like, this is the standard, trying to do this, and it's usually stuff that's like really hurting us. Let's see. And I see so many women. I see so many women with the lash glue and the false lashes, and I can't imagine. I wore them for my wedding, and I didn't seem to have any problem. But I don't know what's in that stuff, and I don't know, what kind of issues women are gonna have down the road from putting on lash glue every day. Breezy Mama, really? I'm talking about the food deserts in the black neighborhood, or the beauty products and how they cause issues. Because I was definitely having some hives. I figured out what the hives are coming from, Mama. Nail glue. Hey. Shalom, Breezy Mama. Good to see you, sis. But oh, hey, Shima. Blessings to you too. Happy to see you as always. But yeah, we were just talking about how we were talking about endometriosis. How it's an awful, just extremely awful thing, and like, it didn't occur to me that the endometrial, the endometrial tissue would, cause bleeding every month on cue, when someone had their monthly cycle. Oh, thank you, Deshima. It's always a pleasure to have you, and of course, your family. So, good to see you. Miss Modesta said, most are unaware that most red pigment lipstick contain lead. Oh, Yeah, I didn't know that. Is it just the red lipsticks that contain lead? Good Lord. And you'd ask yourself, why would you need lead in lipstick? Why on earth would you need lead, something that is extremely poisonous, in lipstick? That's something that you put on your mouth every day, that you're obviously going to eat. Yes, we are, Deshima. Oh gosh. Chapstick has lead in it too? I know, like, I would put chapstick on my lips and it seems like it would be more chapped. So I stopped using chapstick. And I know a lot of people who, like, depend on chapstick, like, they're constantly putting it on, constantly using it and carrying it around. Yeah, I didn't realize that they would put anything that's not edible in chapstick.
That new?
Yeah, I mean, now I gotta look at, the lead. Look at all my products, and I don't even know if they put the ingredients on all of them. You said it's easy to make your own, Breezy Mama? Can you give us some examples? I know, like, different vegetables have, like, really nice pigment, like beet powder would be a nice, pretty color for, like, lipstick or something like that, or like hibiscus or something will make a nice deep red color and be tasty too. I see Miss Odessa said those heavy pigments need those components to last. See, it's not that serious, like, to put lead on someone's lips, like, and and the relaxers, they put lye and other chemicals. Formaldehyde, like, formaldehyde is embalming fluid for, preserving dead bodies. Let's see. Firestar said chapstick 2, true. My lips would get more chapped after using chapstick. Yeah, me too. So I just stopped using it. I used to like the feeling of it and the smell of it. I would get chapstick that had, like, pretty smells, like vanilla or like mint or something. And I was, seemed like I was constantly applying it.
I think they put a peeling agent in it too.
A peeling agent? Mm-hmm. So the chapstick they were putting on our lips to prevent peeling and flaking and make our lips moisturized actually had a peeling agent in it. That's great. Yeah, Breezy Mama, hibiscus. Yeah, hibiscus. I think hibiscus would make a really nice, pretty color, and you just crush up the flowers into like a powder, or put them in a food processor or like a coffee grinder, and then mix your hibiscus powder or your beet powder. Beet powder, you can find that at most grocery stores, or at least like a Sprouts or a Whole Foods or someplace like that. A natural health. A natural health. What? Melt it with shea butter. You can melt it with like shea butter or some coconut oil and like beeswax to make it a little harder. I saw somebody say beeswax to make like a salve or like a chapstick, your own type of natural chapstick. But yeah, now I'm gonna have to start making my own chapstick. Not that I don't use chapstick. I usually just put some shea butter.
I want you to stop using it.
I usually put shea butter on my lips, and this is from Bev's Body Butters. Somebody in our community actually makes this, and it's, I don't even know if you can see it. It's really pretty, but it's shea butter, all natural shea butter with ingredients from like Israel and like all natural. Like right now it's kind of melted, but I just like put a little bit of this on my lips, and that seems to really help. Right now I'm like, now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, I want something on my lips. But yeah, you're right, Miss Modesta. All those chemicals do cause fibroids, and also things like endometriosis. And what we can do is work on healing our liver, because our liver has become the cause of fibroids is being in an overly acidic state due to the excess hormones, due to the poor nutrition or lack of nutrition in our diets, or putting acidic compounds in our bodies like sugar and salt make our body put our bodies in an acidic state. What else? Like all that artificial colors, sweeteners, flavors, those all put our body into like an acidic state, and our body has to try to balance it back out, or store that stuff away. If our liver is not in a state, not strong enough to expel it, get it out of us, then your body stores it somewhere. It stores it in fat to try to keep you alive. It stores it in fibroids to kind of try to keep you alive. It starts causing different issues like the endometriosis. Nobody really knows exactly what causes endometriosis. They have a theory about what causes it. Basically, they think the imbalance that happens during the menstrual cycle causes the endometrial tissue, or that lining that's supposed to be sloughed off and bled out. That blood, instead of going out, it goes up through like the fallopian tubes into the body cavity, and that endometrial tissue starts attaching to other organs, and unfortunately that stuff starts bleeding every month on command, like a regular menstrual cycle. But you can't have internal bleeding and not have issues after a while. So endometriosis is extremely painful, because when someone has internal bleeding, it causes inflammation, and inflammation, as you know, causes pain. Pain anywhere in your body is caused by inflammation. So if you can get rid of the inflammation, you can get rid of the pain. There are quite a few herbs that deal with inflammation, but in particular, cat's claw is one, and feverfew is another that's like very strong anti-inflammatory herbs that you can take. You can also do like a liver cleanse with our herbs that we love to talk about, like the burdock, the dandelion, the yellow dock, the red clover. All the blood cleansing types of herbs will help you get your liver taken care of. Your milk thistle will help you with your liver and your kidneys as well. Those two main cleansing organs. Your liver is like your primary defense for helping you filter out toxins that are taken into your body. Of course, those toxins have to be excreted either through your urine or your feces. So you gotta pee them out or you gotta poop them out. And if you don't, then they're gonna be stored somewhere in your body. And if they're stored for too long, that's what leads to cancer. That acidic condition that's being caused by all those toxins, those excess hormones, that's what leads to cancer. So when someone has something like endometriosis or fibroids or prostate issues, if they can correct the issue, if they can get their liver back working properly, if they can get their become regular again, going to the bathroom pretty much every time they eat. So if they eat 3 times a day, they need to have 3 bowel movements a day. And if you can get regular and you can get your organs functioning properly again, you can get rid of pretty much anything, especially conditions that are going to lead to cancer eventually. Someone else said they target us in our hair products. Yeah, they tell us that our hair is not good enough, and here you go, here's some relaxer to make it acceptable, because that's what happened to me. Like, I had a relaxer when I was like 13 years old. I was in middle school, and I was being told, and the irony of it is that it wasn't the white children that were picking on me about my hair, it was the black children, and they were telling me that my hair was nappy, that it didn't look right, that I needed to do something with my hair. And so I actually consider myself to have very nice hair. Now I appreciate my curly hair, but at the time I didn't. I thought having curls or having wavy hair was okay, but I wanted to be pretty like the other girls, have that straight long hair like the other girls, because the shrinkage is real. When you have curly kinky hair, it shrinks. It doesn't stay long like those people who have straight hair. So you want your hair to look long and pretty and flow in the wind, like, the movies. So when the kids were telling me that I needed to, especially little black girls were telling me that my hair was nappy, I needed to do something with it, I got a relaxer. And guess what happened? My hair fell out. Pretty much all of my hair fell out because relaxers and chlorine water in the pool don't mix. Those relaxers break down your hair follicles so much and weaken your hair so much, especially if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you take relaxer and try to put it on virgin hair and you don't know exactly what you're doing, you're going to end up being bald-headed or having, extreme breakage. And that's what happened to me. Like, I had clumps of hair coming out of my head when I was 13 from a relaxer. And the thing is, I had that relaxer when I was 13, and guess what I ended up having as an adult? Severe case of fibroids that I didn't even know I had until much later. Like, I had some incidents, but I never had like painful menstrual cycles, but I have like clots and things like that. And I just thought, oh, that's normal for those clots to come out. And I guess because I was very active and I had a decent diet, the clots would just like come out. But when I got to be in my 30s and I was going to happy hour all the time, not sleeping, hanging out all hours of the night, I started feeling very tired. I started putting on weight, and I was like, it's not from what I eat, because at one point I wasn't really eating. I would eat one salad a day. Well, I was really strict on what I ate. I had become a pescatarian because I worked out, about 6 days a week. So I needed protein. So I was a vegan for a little while, but that wasn't working for me because I felt like I needed protein. So I became a pescatarian, and a pescatarian is someone who eats vegetables, fruits, and fish, basically. And grains and things like that, but no eggs, no dairy, nothing like that. And I started gaining weight, and it was just unexpected, and I didn't know what was happening. And I became stricter on my diet. I started eating one of those pre-bagged salads and some dressing. That would be all I had all day, every day for about 3 months. And I was putting on weight, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. I was putting on weight, so I started working out more. I was already working out 6 days a week, so I just would start working out in the morning before work and in the evening after work. I was still putting on weight. I was really tired, and and it all came to a head when one of the cysts or fibers burst, and I had severe pain. Ended up in the hospital, and that's when I was diagnosed with fibroids. I had no idea I had them before that.
I'm trying to do emergency surgery.
Yeah, they were trying to do emergency surgery on me. They kept telling me I was going to die if I left the hospital without the surgery. It was a lot of bullying. It was a very, very traumatic situation. I had doctors yelling at me, calling me stupid, that I was an idiot for leaving the hospital, that I was going to die and I wouldn't make it through the night. And it was a really scary time because I didn't know what was happening, and because nobody was talking about fibroids. What was it, 12 years ago? Nobody was talking about fibroids and different feminine issues. And apparently the insurance companies are very well versed on it, and they won't pay anything. They won't even allow you to get disability insurance, because I had to be off my job for a while, and they were trying to deny me disability insurance if I didn't get surgery, which they wanted to do a hysterectomy on me. And I was in my early 30s, and I didn't have any children, so I was like, no, that's not gonna work. I told them I'd rather die, and they were like, they were like, fine, suit yourself, but you're an idiot. And I was able to heal myself naturally of that after I left there. And my sister was helping me, and we did a whole lot of research on what you could do and what you couldn't do if you had fibroids, if you were trying to heal naturally. And we were able to help me heal naturally. And in a relatively short period of time, about 3 weeks to a month, the fibroids were gone or shrinking. Sorry, excuse me. What's going on? Somebody's doing what? Okay, you just pay attention to yourself, okay? Yeah. Let's see. We'll go into these comments. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where I stopped. Okay, Miss Modesta said shampoo has lauryl sulfate, which causes a multitude of problems. See, I didn't realize that lauryl sulfate cause issues. Pretty much all soap products, shampoo, dish soap, hand soap, all of it has that lauryl sulfate in it, and I didn't realize that was an issue. So thank you for letting me know. And that's pretty much in all soap, unless you get all natural soap or you make it yourself. And I saw someone on here who had made soap out of ivy leaves. Basically, you take like a couple handfuls of English ivy leaves, and you boil that down, and the saponins from the leaves actually make a soapy type consistency, and you can make your own soap that way. So that's one option, to make your own soap or buy something that doesn't have lauryl sulfate in it. Thank you for letting me know. I had no idea that was poison. I learn something new every day. But I should have said, I'm going to get me some, right? But so says, yes, I have the body butter. Oh, you have the Bev's body butter? Aw. Yeah, it's good stuff. Like, my lips feel very moisturized right now. I'm very pleased. Breezy Mama said, beets can be sliced and dried in the oven and then make powder in your blender. Oh, yes, you're right. So if you want to make vegetable powder, all you have to do is take your vegetables. You may, like, if it's something hard like beets, I guess you could just slice them, or you could boil them first and then slice them up and put them on like a cookie sheet with some wax paper, or like parchment paper, and then bake it on the lowest setting. Like most stoves, I think it's like 125 is like the lowest setting, and like bake it for about maybe like 3 hours until the moisture is gone, and let that cool. And then once it's dry, you can take it and put it into like a food processor or a coffee grinder to make your own like vegetable powders. Some stuff I guess you wouldn't have to cook twice, like carrots or any type of vegetable you want to make into a powder. Celery, zucchini, you can make any type of vegetable into a powder. But if you were like Breezy Mom was talking about, making beets into like lipstick or to beauty products like blush or eyeshadow, you can make your own vegetable powder or fruit powder the same way, and be able to use the pigments from all natural vegetables or fruits and make that into your beauty products instead of using ones that with synthetic chemicals in them. Cheryl, you said, what about Burt's Bees? Burt's Bees is owned by Johnson & Johnson, I think. It's owned by one of those big companies, and they just give you the illusion that Burt's Bees is natural, but it's not. I think it contains petroleum, which is poison. It's a byproduct of the oil refinery process. So when they're making gasoline and oil, there's the trash that comes from that is petroleum, like petroleum jelly, Vaseline, that type of stuff is actually like trash from the oil refining process, and apparently it causes cancer, and they've known it for a long time, but they put it in like a lot of oils and lotions and products, grease, hair grease, a lot of beauty products have petroleum products in them. Where so he said, yes, marketing and ingredients are so bad. Yeah, they'll put stuff in a pretty package. They'll put poison in a pretty package, and sell it at top dollar, especially if it looks natural, like Burt's Bees or is Tom's of Maine. I don't want to call anybody out. There's a lot of companies that you have to look at who they're owned by and at the ingredients, because just because it looks natural, because they'll put natural looking packaging on stuff to basically fool us into buying it, and then we look at it and we're like, what is this? Like, I was talking to my mom today, talking about how at Whole Foods you can find stuff that has the fruits and vegetables, a lot of them are GMO, and it's like, what are you paying for? If you're going to get GMO fruits and vegetables, you're going to get things that sometimes have artificial sweeteners or colors and things like that, and you're like, I'm at Whole Foods, I thought this was supposed to be healthy. And all those things are really bad, but they're packaged to make them look nice. And when you go into a place that's called Whole Foods, you think you're getting an actual food, not a poison. But I said, oh, my peeling agent. Oh yeah, and chapstick. Apparently my mom just informed me that chapsticks have a peeling agent in them. But it's not surprising. Like Dasani and Aquafina water, both of those have drying agents in them. So they're water, but they put drying agents in them. But why would you put drying?
They high pH them with arsenic or something.
Oh Lord!
Germany and Japan call it death water.
So I know that Japan calls Dasani and Aquafina death water because they make it high pH by putting arsenic in it. So they put drying agents in the water. So the Aquafina and Dasani are considered death water because they have drying agents in them, and also they have poison in them to make them high pH. So you think you're getting something that's healthy, you think you're drinking just water, but really you're drinking water with plus chemicals. But so he said, tell your family to say hi. Sonia said hi.
Oh!
They say hi. I should have said, Con, we are the target. Always have been. Yeah, you said a mouthful right there, Shima. But I said they target us in our hair products. Yeah, because they know, you have to look at someone's culture. If you want, like The Art of War by Sun Tzu, if you want to defeat an enemy, you have to understand an enemy. And so basically we've been targeted as the enemy. And so they understand that we value our hair. Our hair is considered like our crown. And for like the black community, hair is extremely important. They know that we're going to spend a lot of money on our hair. They know that if they put chemicals in the products, that we still would use them, even if we know that it's going to jack our hair up, it's going to be expensive to maintain, and even jack up our health. Like whenever Chris Rock did Good Hair, it was still some years after that movie came out that the whole natural hair movement started. People didn't right away just throw out their relaxers. Even to this day, I see people talking about how they're about to get their fresh relaxer, and excited about it. And Chris Rock put a whole documentary out about how bad relaxers were for your hair, and how those chemicals
and how hair
and how those chemicals will affect your health in the long term. But there's still some black women out there, and I guess even other women who are using perms and other types of texturizers on their hair, know what's in them now and still using them. So that's true, Miss Modesta. Our hair products are, basically an easy target, extremely easy target. Firesetter said, born with a target on our backs. Well,
on all sides.
Yeah, not just the backs. But I definitely agree with you, Shima. Like, you have to, at least the people, all of us on here, we understand what the situation is and how, you have to be very careful not to just get caught up in an image or a trend or what someone's telling you is of value, because a lot of times those things are on purpose made to harm you. because the people that are making them know that that's what you're going to go for. Sometimes, it might just be about the bottom line, about them making the most money. And if they can get something cheap to substitute, to give you a product that you're going to buy, and if it's going to hurt you, they don't care. Like, I was looking at a TikTok video about Cheerios. Ironically, Cheerios causes heart disease. The whole box, the whole thing about Cheerios is supposed to be good for your heart. And there's like a class action lawsuit against the people that make Cheerios for it causing myocarditis, or inflammation of the heart. Let's see. That's how you said thinning. The hair. Yeah, the hair products make your hair thin. They just those products just like will jack you up if you use things that are like unnatural on your hair and your skin.
Over a long period of time.
Yeah, over a long period of time. So it's wearing down at your hair, and it starts wearing down at your health. Yes, sir. What is it? He wants to see you guys. I mean, you can't see them, but they can see you. What do you want to say? Oh, no. You can't hold the phone. What do you want to say?
Hello.
Anything else? That's it?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? They're watching. You're watching. Anyhow.
I can see the people moving.
You can see their comments. Let's see. Sonia said,
I see them moving.
oh, okay.
And I can hear them.
You can't hear them, so okay, just give me a minute, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Sonia said, I never understood how so many beauty supply stores survive across the street from each other. Huh. We keep them open. We put their children through school and all sorts of stuff. We keep their families going with our hair and our nails and our lashes. Firestarter said, we are our own enemies. We are trained not to live in our own natural state. Yeah, you're dropping bars. You're saying a mouthful, Dashima. Like, that's those are all facts. What else to say? Oh, thank you for the agreement, Miss Modesta. Ms. Modesta said shampoos and conditioner. Yeah, anything with that what you call lauryl sulfate, because I know that chemical lauryl sulfates in all the soaps and things like that. I just didn't realize it was bad for you.
Or how bad it was.
Or how bad it was for you. Let's see. I'm missing some of the comments. I'm gonna get off here so I can get on my husband's live. Pastor Kofi Ofori's live in a minute. Let's see, because his starts at 8. Firestarter said, "Yep, dressing up the poison just like they do our food." Exactly. They put some poison in a pretty package, and it's not 8. It's 7:56. Okay. Yeah. I see. Cheryl said, "Oh wow, thank you." Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, Breezy, Mama, it's pretty bad, and all this stuff is causing health issues in our wombs, and a lot of health issues overall. I see Miss Modesta said it's a drying agent. It dehydrates our hair and skin. Wow, I did not know that. Wow, you're teaching me. I didn't know that much about lauryl sulfate. I just know it's in everything. Because if you look at the ingredients, it's on pretty much all soaps and conditioners and things like that. All the things they say are, cleaning for the body, they put lauryl sulfate in. Firestarter said, all praises to the Most High. Amen. All praises to the Most High. Hi, Iron Grid. How you doing? Yeah, I know, Sonia. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Firestarter said, I have curly hair, and my mom and on my hair. My dad was so upset. I haven't had a relaxer in 20 years. Yeah. Even getting one relaxer sets you up for having some type of health issue. So you may want to check in, like if you're having some type of issue, you may want to check in and be more aware of if you're having any symptoms. of fibroids, like back pain or endometriosis, back pain, abdominal pain, excess or unusual bleeding, irregular periods, thinning hair, facial hair, what else? Insomnia, like can't sleep, anemia, any types of issues, low libido, any type of like feminine dryness. All those things are issues that are caused by these chemicals that we're putting into ourselves, by the stress that's being put on us. It all leads to issues, serious health issues. And you know you have an issue if you're like experiencing any of those symptoms. Unexplained weight gain, all that stuff. Let's see. Tamika Fraser said, "This is my first time in your life. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings to you. Look forward to seeing you again." Oh, my pleasure, Red Sonia. Thank you for inspiring me to keep going with my lives, and everybody on. Thank you. Like, I feel the love. Like, I know all of you. You know, I know pretty much everyone on here, and I really appreciate you all and love you all. Minister Nai said, hydrogen sodium is poisonous as well. Oh wow, I don't even know what that's in.
Wait a minute, what is
Hydrogen sodium. Oh, hydrogen sodium, that lye? Lord. Yeah, I know that's poisonous. I know, like, in the relaxers, if you get a relaxer or something with lye in your eyes, you got to rinse it out thoroughly because it can make you go blind. Like, we risk a lot to look a certain way. And nothing's worth going blind over. Minister Nice said, yeah, nothing is worth any sickness. Minister Nice said, we want to be other people and other people want to be us. Whoa, that's a bar. Let me take a screenshot. I need to take screenshots of these comments because you guys are like dropping gems. Let's see. Miss Medosa said, there are law in place that you cannot open a competitive store within 5 miles, within a 5-mile radius. Oh wow, okay.
Weird.
Yeah, where is that with that law? I got it in my live, so I'll have to ask her another time. Thank you, Minister Tamara. I always get nourished and enriched by your presence as well. You always add something great to the conversation or to our classes or anything. And thank you for being a moderator on my live and my husband's live. But I'm gonna get off of here because my pleasure, Coleman, because I gotta get over to my husband's live. I'm gonna get over to Kofi Ofori. Wow, exchanging health for beauty. Yep, Breezy Mama. But shalom, everyone. Love you, Sister Sonia. But I will. Oh yeah, she said all that wisdom sitting next to you, Mom. Talking about mom.
Bless her.
Yeah, bless you guys. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye bye. Bye.